Hey.
Well, nobody's in here yet, obviously.
All good. That's to be
So,
expected. It's our first live.
yeah, at least it'll record, right? So, I guess we'll start with who you are, and then I'll say who I am.
Yeah, I mean, should we wait until somebody gets in here, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, let's give it a few minutes. Let's bullshit, I guess, and then
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what
We'll just
happens.
BS for
Yeah,
a few.
a few minutes, and then we'll start.
Yeah, because I guess if it's...
Hey,
Oh,
there's Swamp Rat. There he is.
what's
Why
good?
doesn't update that people are in here?
Yeah, what's that nonsense?
Where's the
Oh,
chat? Or
oh,
there it is.
it's just slow. It's
Oh,
slow
is
to
it?
update.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I see one person.
Live chat. All messages are visible. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay. I'll just have messages above your face ever so often.
Yeah.
What's up, Alex? How you doing, man?
What's going on, buddy?
You already know who Alex is, right?
We're gonna try to link up next year because he's only in Jersey. So I mean, that's
Yes.
probably like 4 or 5 hour drive for me.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer, dude.
Yeah, which that's nothing. That's an
That's not
afternoon.
13 hours.
No, that's a Tuesday.
He says he's living the dream. Mech's on. What's up, Mech? How you doing, man? Michigan dude.
On. I don't know. I guess we can say what? We'll say 5 minute mark. We'll
start.
start in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit of time.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, I at least hope the people who are viewing, Alex and Mech, you guys are doing good. Weather sucks. Weather sucks. Well, there's Q.
What up, Q?
we'll get him on. We'll get him on here once we get the streaming stuff figured out. Oh yeah, yeah. Mech just had a kid. Congratulations.
Oh, nice. I've got 3 of them.
Yeah, he just said that'll be his third. Being a Yankee sucks. Get out of here, man.
Well,
It's
it's
the best
cold.
thing in the world. What's the only sucky part?
Yeah, that's it.
Friday night with the boys and Friday morning with Bass and Brew. Yeah.
Nice. There you go. Yeah, congrats on the new kid. So you'll be getting no sleep for a while. That's nice.
I don't have to experience that, so
No.
no.
Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, sometimes the animals wake me up, but that ain't bad.
Yeah, it happens. Well, we do have topics that we are going to be talking about, just so everybody's aware. We're just giving a little bit of time.
We're gonna educate just a little bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
We're educated Yankees.
Still jealous of D's tackle wall? Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I mean, who wouldn't be? Look at that thing. Look at that thing. That's only half of it, right?
Yeah, here. Another portion.
That's
all soft plastic.
There's the other half. It's ridiculous.
This is just the hard base. And then there's a whole nother wall over there too.
It's not just pop, Alex.
Yeah.
Danger juice.
Right. So what, Mike? You want to?
Yeah. Well, my guys, for anybody who tunes in after the stream to the recording, my name's Mike. I go fishing. Been doing it for a long time. All my life. We do the YouTube thing, obviously. And yeah, here we are. You are?
I'm well, real name is Derek, but everybody knows me as I Can't Fish or ECF. Um, I have not been fishing my whole life. I'm going on year 5 now, so I got some catching up to do. But yeah, just like Mike, I do the whole YouTube thing, Instagram, the social media grind, because
Oh
that's
yeah, and
100% what it is.
it is in fact a grind. Um, you never stop. That's for damn sure. I
Yeah.
think that's what gets people most of the time is like soon they realize like, oh damn, this is a commitment.
Yeah, what did I get
And then
myself into?
yeah. Then they
Yeah.
give up and it's like, come on, keep going. What did Q say earlier? Oh yeah, he's the one that gave us some of the ideas.
What's up, Kevin?
Kevin's son. No, Kevin, you're ugly.
Yeah, your face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how was your week, Mike?
Uh, I got to work all week, so that's nice. It's been cold, but not cold enough to snow, but cold enough where we got like skim ice, so I can't like get out in the kayak or bank fish or anything. I can go to the river and fish, but right now it's kind of just like once a week, so basically once every weekend. Like tomorrow I'll go fishing, and then hopefully catch a steelhead. It's not bass fishing, but it's something to keep me busy at least. Other than that, the week's been pretty great. Can't complain. Get paid, and then get to go fishing tomorrow. So, how's your week been, man?
Slow. Boss is in Florida until next Wednesday, so no work for me. So I've been, editing videos. I've posted a couple since, which
Mm-hmm. Those are good videos, man.
it had been a while. So I got to get back into the weekly grind of some sort of full length video to be posting, which I'm going to be doing moving forward. So there'll be another video coming up this upcoming week.
Is that going to be the
I'm not
infamous?
sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be that one yet. That one's going to be a little bit longer of a video just because of the day that we had.
That was an awesome, awesome day, dude. I swear.
Yeah, I think out of all the days, that was the day. But oh yeah, that was a fun one. So I'm gonna put a little time in on that edit for sure. But
Sweet.
I've got a few other things that I can do. I'm gonna do some more how tos, maybe some rod breakdown videos, like complete setups, what I use it for, and everything.
Yeah, I'd like to see the rod setup one because you got like how many? 13 of them.
13, 14, something like that.
Jeez, man.
Yeah,
Oh, it
which
was 13, right? And then
yeah,
you broke
yeah,
it.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
12 technically. But
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm gonna be getting the because I got a rod replacement happening, and I'm gonna be I upgraded, so I'm gonna be getting the Mag Glide, the USA Custom Mag Glide, which that's just a giant behemoth of a rod, like a 711 extra heavy.
Jeez.
Yeah, that'll be. I'll probably just toss all my big baits on that, so that'll be my big bait setup.
Dude, I might be able to use that for like salmon and steelhead during this time of season. Like as a bait caster. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean, I
that is
think
like,
it's rated for like 2 to 8 ounces. I think bait wise.
jeez. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. That'd be sweet.
yeah,
You know what? Your boss is probably hanging out with Q and
yeah,
Kevin.
yeah. Uh,
Bastards.
he's definitely enjoying warmer weather than you and myself are. That's for sure. At least we're in the same
Well,
boat there.
Yeah. See you later, Mac.
Later. Thanks for
Thanks for
coming in.
stopping by.
Appreciate it. We'll be doing more lives here, so don't worry about it.
Yes, we will be doing more lives. This is
Yes, we
something
will.
we plan on doing with Q and Kevin. Q is Brute Bites. You guys didn't know. And then Kevin is 863 Bassin. 2 Florida guys, a New Hampshire guy down there, and then me here in Michigan. We're going to talk shit about fishing and each other. And yeah, I think that's going to be fun. There's possibilities of even this being a podcast. I don't know. Let us know if you guys think that would be cool. I know nothing about podcasting, so but
Yeah, we're just
we
kind
do
of
know
winging
people.
this. We're winging this as we go. We figured it'd be a good, good way to, I guess, personable with our followers and everything like that.
Yep.
Because I know I've lacked that, at least on like my social media, like Instagram side of things.
You know, it is what it is. Oh yeah, see, Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
he'll
that.
hook us.
Yeah,
He'll hook us
we're in
up.
dire need of help.
You know, anytime I need something, I either talk to Alex or I talk to Ramon, and those dudes are awesome. Let's
Yeah,
get
I
it,
mean,
Q.
I guess for more or less for what people don't know is the four of us, we all kind of met via Instagram, and then, we're all part of Team Six and conversed and everything, and then we kind of started, like a group chat together, and then from that it became, like a serious crew. We're like
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of brothers.
Oh
We
yeah.
bicker we bicker a lot like them too, so
Yeah, but bust each other's balls and everything like that.
yeah, I mean,
That's
we push each other. That's what I feel a lot of people lack is they're in competition with everybody, and it's like, we have friendly competition where it's, we push each other to do better. And
mm-hmm.
then we kind of, we have expectations of each other, and it's helpful.
And it's like, yeah, it's like if you don't post a video next week, I'm gonna be like, what the hell? What are you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What are
So
you
then it's
doing?
not just, you're not just held accountable yourself, you have other people that, we talk about everything with each other. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a big thing, it definitely, it helps motivate and push.
Yep, I think Alex's saying is rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very true. Can't
I
deny
like that
that.
saying. So nod to him.
All right, what do you want to get into next here, Mike?
All right, so do we want to talk about your most productive baits
We can
of
get
this season,
into
or the like the cold weather stuff?
why don't you get into your cold weather options?
All right, I didn't pull any baits off the wall, but I don't think I really need to. That's kind of like right there. Do I have an extra? Yeah, whatever. I'll just talk about them.
Why? If you got something, I probably have it, so I can hold it up.
Do you have a Provoke 106X?
Yeah. Any specific color?
Let's see. Do you have an extra bloodline or maybe like a ghost?
I can get my bloodline. That's easy enough.
If it's too difficult, it's too much to ask for. Don't do it.
Nah, it's right over here. I'll get it. 1 second.
Yeah, Derek. Do you have any Provoke 106Xs?
Whole
Ghost Pro
box.
Chef. Yeah, that's an expensive box.
Bloodline.
Bloodline. I don't know why that color works so freaking well. Yours is like, is that the camera or is it just chewed up?
Just shoot out.
Dang,
I've
dude.
been using this thing a lot this year.
Dude, I was so happy to see that you started using Bloodline.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean
that is
that
my
that worked for me on St. Clair.
favorite color out of all of them for the provoke.
Yeah.
But I will use that during the this season right now if I actually have open water. Something about the cold water and a suspending jerkbait like that, it just I don't know, they come up for it. It's a
Oh
good
yeah.
it's a good bait to draw fish. You can almost use it like a search bait too.
Oh, it's a good
I
one.
need to I need to cop some Waterland hats again. Yes, you do, Brute. Brute. You need more Waterland hats. They're coming out with them all the time. Code MGF10.
No, isn't it? It's not MGF10.
Oh, is it? What is it?
I don't know because why is that what it is? That wouldn't make any sense. Why
Oh,
would it be
MGF.
MGF10?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it
15.
MGF15?
So
Yeah,
15. Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Hey, I'm just trying to, I'm just helping you out.
I think the 10 still works. Yeah.
I believe in
Yeah,
you.
it's 15. Yeah. Sorry. Jeez, man. No.
Yeah,
Don't know how to promote. Rookie. Get out of here, Alex.
yeah, right. If you really want a code that works, it's just ECF.
ECF. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the 10 still works because he used it. Is it really just ECF?
for Waterland it is.
Oh, wow.
That might
I
be
wish.
something that I want to bring up and just try to get it all to where it's just ECF, not
Yeah,
like
that'd be.
ECF10 and then ECF.
Or brute bites.
Yeah, that works too. Or
What's.
863 Bassin.
Yeah. Is
Either of the
Kevin's
four.
the full, like, 8.6
Yeah.
MGF 70 and it works too? Does it really? Bull crap.
Yeah, right. I'm an ECF 100.
That's more than mine.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, dude. So yeah,
Besides the
we got the provoke. We have a lipless crankbait. Would you agree with me on a lipless crankbait?
yeah, I just don't have a whole lot of confidence in a lipless. I gotta that's gonna be something that I want to work on next year is my cranking game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a ton of confidence in it generally, but during the cold season, I don't know why I just gravitate towards a lipless crankbait because we still have some grass. I'm sure you guys still do as
Yeah.
well, even though it's dying off, but it rips out easier, and that seems to be when they just hit that because they're tucked up in that grass and that cold water, especially like 20 to 25 feet, maybe even 10, 15, but depending on your warmth of your water, but they'll be sitting in that grass to try and stay warm because that grass soaks up sun,
Yep.
and they'll come out of that and hit that thing when it rips out of there. Do I have a? Yeah, we got one right here. Surprised all this stuff is within reach. And then
I'm good for hard baits. If I gotta reach for any hard baits, I'm pretty good.
yeah, I think like when it comes to the cold season, hard baits are one of those things where I think a lot of people just gravitate towards in general. I don't know why, but it seems like soft plastics kind of die down as it gets colder. You notice that?
Yeah. I mean, you can still like get crazy and finesse, a jig, like one of
Mm.
the ball finesse jigs,
Hmm.
with like a mini stroker craw or something like that.
I like that. Kind of like downsize it, which is basically what I got here, kind of, except a hybrid jig. And
Yep.
then you're going to cut down a stroker craw, make it all compact. And then what I'm going to do with this hybrid jig is drag it along the bottom, get it all full of that gross, nasty, decaying grass down there. And then I think that those fish, they just notice that thing dragging along the bottom, like moving all this crap down there, and they go over there and investigate. And then they decide, am I going to eat that or not? But you got to like drag it really, really slow. Um, and then I kind of like drag it sideways with my body,
Yep.
and then that's when you're doing that, you have to be like lightning fast and make sure they don't bite it when you're all the way back here, like all
Yeah,
the
it's
way
a
turned
weird hook
around.
set.
Yeah, it's super weird.
I mean, you
And
would really
most
have
of
to
the
like
time,
slackline hooks at that point.
oh yeah, it's weird, but it's like pretty much the only way I think you can effectively fish a jig on the bottom when the water is that cold.
Yeah,
Oh
I
shit.
mean, it's a slow winter is a slow game. There is nothing quick
Hmm.
about it. I mean, there's good gaps in between bites but
Hmm.
a good amount of the times those bites that you do get, I mean, they're decent quality fish.
Yeah, 'cause I think those quality fish are going to be the ones that are looking for the food the most because they're going to need it the most.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other
All right,
bait?
I've had some success with a quarter ounce tungsten, just Texas rig doing the same thing with a jig, maybe a few little hops,
Yep.
um, but not as much as those three. So I guess that could be a contender to the jig right there. But besides that, that's about it for me. Those are my three cold weather baits. If I can ever actually get out there and fish them.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a couple of rivers. I think I'm gonna go do some like trout fishing in just to give myself something to do. And get some sort of fishing content throughout the winter. I do
Dude,
plan on getting on the ice as well. I have a buddy who's, he's very eager to get me out there. So that's another
is
plan as well.
is that the same buddy that helped you get your PV smallmouth?
No, no,
No, different guy.
yeah. He's actually named Derek as well. So it's hilarious. Yeah. Two
There
Derek's
can
in
be
a
only be
pod.
one.
Yeah. No, he's a good dude.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I definitely would like to see you doing some river and ice fishing stuff. That'd be
Yeah, I've
sweet.
never ice fished before, so be something new.
I mean, you guys got it. Might as well
I
use it.
know. I know. He's got a hut and everything, so like a pop-up one. So it's gonna be a
Oh, yeah,
little different. I'm not gonna
yeah.
be
That
just sitting out in the cold.
yeah, that'll make you love it. If you don't have it, it kind of is just miserable.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's got all the flags and everything like that. So it'll be good. It'll be interesting.
The new six crappie baits yet? No, they haven't given us those.
No,
So
I am interested in the hair jigs. You seen those, Mike?
yes, are the crappie hair jigs
I don't know if they're crappie hair jigs or if they're just
or the
flat
bass
out
ones?
hair jigs.
Yeah, I am very interested in those, especially for
Those,
smallmouth. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
those look pretty good.
And those will sink to the bottom like nobody's business.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
The
Well,
the crappie baits I might use in during ice fishing if they come out sooner. Are they already out? No, no,
no,
they shouldn't be.
no,
No.
no. But yeah, that'd be something that I'd be interested in because I get a
Yeah.
ton of crappie around me.
Finally, something we can use in the winter. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
no.
we do have a few. So here's a few good cold winter baits.
If you guys want to know, he's wearing that Miami
Oh yeah, the
six.
Miami
Miami,
Six.
yeah, the Miami 6. That sweatshirt is
Yeah,
so cool, dude.
So the gyro
Oh, yeah, gyro.
from Shiner. Good.
I meant to fish that this year. I just didn't get to it.
So I think it. I don't remember which one it was that I had, but I went to tie it on, and I took it out of the box, and then for whatever reason, it just slipped out of my hands, and then it fell through my scupper hole. Just went right in the water, and I was like,
No way.
"All right, I guess that's a sign that I should not fish this bait right now."
Did you
And you
have
got
any more? Sorry.
not on me, no.
Yeah.
I ended up switching up, and I started using a slice blade
Oh,
bait,
okay.
which is
Yeah.
another good option for the cold water.
Oh, yeah. I'd have to agree. I
Only
used
thing
that
that
in early spring, I believe.
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
springtime bait too. It's
Hmm.
better in cold water applications for
Yeah.
sure.
Thing sinks
I,
like a stone.
yeah, yeah, it does. You can launch it pretty far though,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is nice. But it has a good like fluttering like vibration to it that you can feel. So has
When,
three
when
different like rigging options.
Yeah, when you're using that, which one of the rigging options do you use? Do you use the very front, middle, or the back?
I tend to use the middle just because it gives you a
Middle.
little bit more of an option of how fast you're retrieving it. I think
Hmm.
when it's on the very front, you want to be retrieving it like really quick.
Yeah,
And
because that's
then,
gonna shove that thing down
yeah,
quite fast.
so
Yeah.
the middle kind of gives you some options of depth on where you want to be fishing it and how
Yeah.
quickly you want to be fishing it.
The
Yeah.
middle.
uh,
Gotta.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
What Kevin said.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's, I'd say for me, mostly, it's going to be a provoke. I'm going out in cold water. I just, for whatever reason, I mean, it doesn't have to be just the standard 106. I also have I like the deep divers. So depending on, if I'm fishing like a ledge or what it is, I mean, it's going to be one of the two. Those are just, that's a confidence bait for me, the provoke. That is always within an arm's reach for me.
Yeah, I think I need to switch to the deep diver because I've my legs are run into the situation where I need to get deeper more than I need to be shallow. So,
I'm laughing at what cute
what do you say?
or
I
what
didn't
Kevin
notice it.
said.
I didn't notice it.
Yeah, it can be fun, Kevin. We'll just leave it at that. Uh, so what are your top performing baits for 2022? What worked the best for you, Mike?
Oh man, let's see. I think it was the surprisingly the Munch 40 that
Nice.
the shallow diving, like more of the finesse crankbait.
Yeah,
I don't know why they just like lighten that thing up. I think it's the wobble on that thing. I don't know if you got any Munch 40s. I don't have any on my wall right now. Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's that shape of that thing is just
yeah. It's a good bait. It's got a good like
in the
tight hunting
rattles.
action.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorites for this year is probably the
The
F4
Provoke
finesse.
106X?
No,
The F4 finesse. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get to
is
use that this year.
no, I like it.
No.
No, it's a good it's a good option to tie on for sure. It's definitely got a nice tight hunting action compared to just, the flat 75. But
I think this early spring I'm gonna use that. The
it
unique bill shape.
yeah, the
Yeah.
what is it, a double circuit board? bill shape.
Mhm.
Yeah, the thing can take a beating for sure.
My other confidence bait was, or best performance bait was, the chatterbait with the you could either put the flush or the juggle minnow on the back. That was freaking awesome this year. Ever feel like you're
All,
talking to yourself?
all the time.
Mhm. Yep.
But it's okay. I'm used to talking to a camera and everything, so it's all good.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
not talking
remember
to
when you
myself. Talking
yeah,
to you
he's talking to
guys, I'm
me.
talking to Mike. Yeah.
Jeez. What is he talking about?
He's sitting there talking to himself.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Man, I remember when I first started filming, I, uh, I hated talking to the camera so much. I didn't even wanna show my eyeballs.
Yeah, it's
I'm
awkward
like
at first.
yeah, I'm like, "What the hell is this?"
Like, I think I would still feel awkward if I were to, like, walk into a store with,
Oh.
like my camera, like, just filming, like, myself and everything. Yeah, that I
Mhm.
think I would still be a little uneasy about. But,
Yeah,
you know, it's
I think,
all it's all a learning experience.
yeah. Maybe you just have to, like, do it once, like, go in the Walmart where it might be, more okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Walmart tends to not care about things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or somebody see you be like, "Man, that guy's got a nice camera."
Yeah, right?
We'll
My
follow him
yeah,
home.
yeah. Yeah, my area would be more apt for something like that for sure.
Mhm.
Well, for me, I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
what about you?
say my most productive baits for the year, for sure would have to be the provoke. And color, I would have to say Spanish bone, this one, or the perch color.
Oh, yeah, the
That
perch.
was,
Yep.
I mean, I have a lot of perch as my, bait that's around. That and bluegill and crappie, but the perch that's a big one. So I mean, anything perch colored seems to do really well. Uh, Bone, anything bone, that just flat out works on any bait that I throw. Bone is just something that I always try to scoop up.
I wonder what it is about the bone color. Like, I
I'm
never
not sure.
understood. I never
Yeah, because it
understood.
doesn't seem like it's really anything, at least in my water source. Like, and maybe that's the
Mm-mm.
thing, is it's just something new. So they're like, "Ooh, what's
Oh,
that?
yeah.
I'm gonna eat it." Like,
Uh-huh.
but
Like, "Oh, this alien thing I've never seen before. Yep,
yeah.
gonna put that gonna, just eat that up."
And then let's see. Other than that, I would have to say the glitch, the
Oh,
drop
yeah.
shot,
Yep.
and these would be the three colors. Uh, Methylate, I believe that's how you say it.
Yeah, that's how you
And
say
then
it.
what's this? Green pumpkin mist, just
I
nice, like a
like that
green,
color.
green and purple. And then the 4K shad. That's another solid color.
What's that, shoot. It's, like, clear with blue fleck and then, like, a melon top. I think it's called, like, Mystic or something, I don't know. But
I'm
that
not sure,
color,
but that sounds good. I'm not
freaking
sure
sweet.
exactly
I think it was an exclusive, and I got, like, 2 packs of it.
in the
I got
glitch.
lucky enough. Yeah, they sent me 2 packs of it, luckily.
No, you know what? That was when we got sent stuff. I remember that
Oh.
specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because I don't think. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And
Man, I didn't get
then
the I got a few fish on that glitch this year on a drop shot, but I didn't use it enough.
I mean, this was my first year doing any type of drop shotting. I got real into the drop shot game. I
You were
mean,
killing
enough.
it on that thing.
Yeah, I mean, I went out and got a pretty specific setup for just drop shotting, which I've got a few of my setups and everything out, which we can go over those as well.
Yeah.
And then
What's the next one?
flipping. Flipping, I had a blast getting into that this year. That produced some fish for me. And that bite, that is, I mean, it's up there on a fun way of getting fish into the boat. There's just something about that hook set. I mean, you feel that fish pick your bait up, and it is just, I mean, you're giving them everything. It's not one of those little piddly ass, spinning rod like
Yeah,
hook
no, you have to
sets.
go through reeds, grass, stumps, like
Oh yeah,
everything.
yeah, and there's just something special when you get that hook just driven right into them. That's a good time.
Dude, the few times I did hook into a fish doing that, because I was just learning it while you were just lighting them up that one day. It was amazing. They lose
And
their minds.
it's immediate too. Like
Yeah.
that's why for my flipping setup, I have a high gear reel. Like it's an 8.3 to 1, 8.4 to 1,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But I mean, you most of the time they just you hook into them and they're running out at you. So I mean, you have a lot of slack that you're trying to pick up quickly.
Yeah, I imagine they, which is so weird because usually if you hook them like in any other type of water, they like go towards the grass. When you're doing this, they're like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Like
it's
it's
funny,
so
but
weird.
most of the time that's how it is. They're like, they're coming at you. So that's why it's always a good
Mm-hmm.
idea to have, a high gear ratio reel. So it helps you, keep that pressure and everything because that's definitely
Yeah,
key.
that's
But
something I gotta buy.
the stroker craw and then the crude. That
Oh, the
was
crude.
yeah. I mean, I was using a 4/0 ox flipping hook with the stroker craw and ox blood. That was one of my best colors this year, which is a killer color. It's got that like motor oily, like orange kind of color on top, and then that like real deep purple color on the bottom. It's like a laminate,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but that
I,
killer color.
I think
And
anything motor oil is just, I don't know, it's amazing.
it's even with the Krug and gravel craw, it's got a little bit of that like motor oil-ish kind of color to it. But that I was using a 3/0 ox flipping hook. I was even using I think it was a 3/0 juggle hook for that as well. It just
Oh yeah,
sits. It just sits real nice.
yeah,
Which a lot of people I don't think would think of using, but it is an option for the Krug.
yeah. I honestly didn't even think about that. That's a good idea for the crew.
It's a real soft, like center part of the body, and it's not real thick either. So I mean, you
Uh,
still get that a good enough gap,
the full compression. Yeah.
yeah, for that hook set and
Huh.
everything.
I never thought
But
about that. That's a good idea.
yeah, and it's a little bit smaller profile as well. So I mean,
Mhm. Yeah.
if it's
What
something
weight
you're
were
fishing
you?
cover, I mean, it would all depend. I'd go anywhere from. I try not to go real heavy. I know, like, I don't do a lot of like punching or anything like that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not, I'm not Q who's using ounce and a half, uh, tungsten. Later, buddy. Thanks for coming in.
See you later, Alex.
I mean, a half ounce, I think, is as high as I'll go up to, but I tend to be more in like the 3/8 or quarter ounce, something like in that ballpark.
Mhm.
But I mean, I've had great luck with just that. I mean, it really depends, I guess. I mean, I've heard, reasonings as to using heavier weights, like in bedding season, just it helps with agitating, the fish a little bit better because you're just, you're disrupting a lot more of that bottom.
Oh,
So I
yeah,
know
yeah.
that it can help, but for the most part, nah, I'm just, quarter ounce to like 3/8, I believe.
So I think, most of the fishing community probably think that's pretty light. I mean, usually I would think that's pretty light as well, but it makes a lot of sense. If you're not, like, punching or something, you really don't need, like, half ounce and over. Jigs above all other baits. Jigs are good.
That's so just like a flipping, like the hybrid jig, just for
Mhm.
flipping, I don't have a whole lot of confidence on. So that's something that I am planning on working on this upcoming season is just my jig game. Like a swim jig, I mean that's another confidence bait for me. Like I'll swim a jig all
Oh.
day long, but
Dude,
just flipping
honestly
a jig, not so much.
honestly, you probably use that divine swim jig for flipping pretty good with that head style. It just goes straight through everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely even with a swim jig, like most people think that just because you have a paddle tail on it that you have to be swimming it. That's not the case at all.
Oh
I mean,
no.
you can
No.
you can hop that thing and drag it on the bottom just like any other jig out there. I mean,
Mhm.
realistically, it's just mimicking a dying bait fish at the bottom.
Oh yeah. Swim yeah. Hybrid jig is
And the
you're
thing
the
with
real
the
man.
hybrid jig is, I mean, you can swim a hybrid jig just as good as the swim jig, I feel. I mean, it
Yeah.
is very hybrid-esque. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. That's why it's called the hybrid
yeah, I
jig.
mean, that's a great just to be doing either or. I mean,
Mhm.
flipping it or swimming it.
Maybe that should be the next venture, flipping jigs.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
down for that. I mean, that would have been a fun option to try, at Huron, but
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
having too much fun. That day was I I think I was going back and forth between the Krug and the, Stroker Craw.
Yeah. I think you were probably using the crew more, I remember. But yeah,
Yeah, I
you
think
were
it
definitely
was
going
the
you were going
gravel
back.
craw,
Yeah, you're going back and forth.
but no, that was fun. I flipping is that's a good time. And then, I mean, really the only other so this year I dedicated a lot of time to the trace. That
Yep.
that this was probably my number 1 bait for the year
In the
2022.
in the bone color.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, enough to where I've had to change out the hooks a couple times on this specific one, just from bending hooks out and everything. Which for me, I mean, the stock hooks that come on this thing are pretty gnarly. So to bend one of them hooks out is pretty intense to
Oh
think
yeah.
about.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, but no, this was probably the funnest bait to learn. But I caught some of my biggest fish for the year on this, 100%. I'd say between this and the glitch, drop shotting, but this was the most fun for me. I mean, the bite on this thing is crazy intense. I mean, you
Oh
get
yeah.
bit and it's battle time. Like you were in war with this fish. And it doesn't matter what size, they are not happy that they just got stung by this thing. and
Yeah,
it
because
is just muscle to the boat.
I think they were like, "Oh man, this is gonna be a big bait fish meal for me," and then no, it's attached to a freaking line. It's made out of
Yeah.
plastic, so they're just pissed off.
Yeah.
Like,
Just there's so many ways to fish that bait. The other thing.
definitely, yeah, it's not a lot of people's cup of tea. It's hard. It's hard to get into, but
It can get frustrating. I mean, I can't tell you the handful of outings that I went on where it was just hours of throwing that thing with no bites, nothing, not even a follower, and just I'm just the type of person that if I have to figure something out. Like I just can't like there's no quit in me with something like that. Like if it's something's not working, I'll try different tactics or whatever. And then you do get bit that first time. And then it's just like, oh, what did I do to get that bite? And then you're like, well,
hmm
now I've got a bite, so I've got a fish, so let's get the next fish, and then it's smaller gaps in between those fishes, the fish that you do get with it.
yeah, you kind of
And
just dial it in after a little while.
I will say it does help recording, going through, the footage and everything. Like that's something that on my fish catches that I am, breaking down my clips and everything. I mean, I'll rewatch a whole bunch of times trying to figure out exactly what it was that I was doing, how fast
hmm
was I reeling. Because I mean, sometimes, I'm not paying attention when I'm out there and I'm so zoned in that I'm just doing doing what I'm doing.
Just doing the thing, just fishing.
Yeah, but I do know in the back of my mind that, well, I am filming everything, so, I mean, I can break down a little bit what it was that I was doing. But, I mean, that
hmm
is something that you do wanna pay attention, like, I'm not always throwing it the same way every time. Fish are gonna react to it differently every time you're out, depending on where you are, but I use the slow sync version just because it gives me options like, on how you're gonna fish it. I mean, you can, get some lead wire and weight it down some so it does sink a little faster. I
Yeah.
mean, you can burn a slow sink right on top water, and, I mean, I've done that with the trays because it is a loud bait. So, I mean, you can burn that thing on the top, and it won't necessarily blow out, and you can trigger some pretty great top water bites on that bait.
See, I didn't get the slow sync until the end of the year, where what I think it was either October's or November's six sack
I
that
think it was
had the
October's.
yeah, that had the slow sync, and then that is when I tried to fish it, and it was just it was that time of year, kind of just sucked. The water is too cold and all that, so I didn't really get to experience any bites with it. So I'm excited for next year to try the slow sync some more.
Well, I mean, depending on the water temperature, that definitely is going to affect how slow or how fast a bait is going to sink.
Yeah, yeah, because
So, I
it was
mean,
acting more like a floating
yeah,
trace, which is insane.
I think the colder the water, the quicker it wants to rise, I believe is
hmm
how that goes. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know either,
I
dude.
think that's what it is. So I think you gotta be a lot slower. It's not gonna sink as quick. So you gotta wait. I mean, I'd toss it and I'd, count to like 4 or 6 before I'd start,
hmm
doing any type of reeling.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, just to I mean, a good way to do it is finding some clear water and then just having it near the boat and just letting your line out and try to figure out, I mean,
How fast it
I
actually
think they
is.
say it's like a foot every like 1 to 1.5 seconds, but
Yeah, I'm too
that's give or
impatient.
take.
I'm too impatient. I'm just like chucking wine, chucking wine.
See, I think
Like
that's why you liked throwing the sweep more
yeah, I really
because of
like the
that.
sweep. Yeah, That should have been another one of my
Yeah,
productive baits. The sweep, where you're
I
using the hard bait and I'm using the soft bait. That thing is sweet, man.
I could not I couldn't get a fish. I got 1 bite on it all year of throwing it, and it wasn't for lack of throwing it. I just don't
Yeah, because
think.
you were throwing a lot.
Yeah, yeah, there were a good amount of outings where instead of tying the trace on, I would throw the sweep just because, I wanted to get that bite. But I mean, there's just something about those bigger soft plastics that to me seem like they would get bit over that hard bait. It's just so much more
Mhm.
realistic to me. But that was not the
Yeah, and they
case on my end at all. I mean, which was crazy to me. I mean, I for sure thought that I would get bit first and more consistent with the sweep, it being a soft plastic and how that body
Mhm.
works and the movement. But nope. And I mean, I was catching fish of all different sizes on the trace. I mean, little guys like pounders
Yeah,
that
that
I was
amazes me.
just, yeah, I'm like, what were you thinking? But that's the thing is once you start catching those little fish on a bait that size, I mean, it really puts into perspective, it's not the just because it's a 6-inch bait does not mean that only giant fish are gonna be going after that thing.
Mhm. I got plenty of pounders on big baits this year. It's just I think with the trace, it's just the noise. I think they're trying to stop it.
That it's a
They're
special
like,
that's a special bait
yeah.
for, like, being all serious and not just because I'm, part of Team 6 and everything. That's a killer bait. I mean, if I think it's one of the best, like, intro to bigger baits for the price point and everything, to
Mhm.
where if you are, losing them and everything, it's not a total, like, kick in the nads where,
Oh, yeah.
"Oh, I just lost a $200, glide bait," or something like that.
No,
But
dude. Can't do
but
it.
I think it's a good bait to get in on if you're
Mhm.
just starting to dabble, especially where you don't necessarily need a specific rod for it.
Yeah, I
Like,
was
as
just gonna
long
say
as
that.
you have,
Yep.
like a heavy rod, you're pretty much okay to be. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be yeeting that thing, across the
No,
lake,
no.
but you can get away with fishing it on just a standard heavy rod, which is
Mhm.
another good thing about it.
Which I think brings us to, specific setups. Do you have any, specific setups you wanna talk about? Rods,
Yeah,
reels?
so we can go over for my flipping setup and my trace. I've been throwing it on the 7.4 Mag Heavy USA
Mhm.
Custom series.
And man, that one looks freaking sweet. I think did you have me, actually physically hold this one? I think so.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that thing is light.
yeah. That whole lineup, their top of the line lineup and everything, but it's for good reason. I mean, that
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
I feel very confident in that I have 2 with a third that I'm gonna be getting. Um, I mean, I would love to try to start and swap over the majority of my rods to that specific series just because, um, there's just something about them. I mean, like you said, they're very light, so, I mean, being able to throw, like, I can throw that trace all day long on it. Yeah, granted, it's not, a ginormous bait. I mean, it's just shy of 2 ounces, but
Mhm.
still, I mean, if you have, there are some rods out there that if the rod was heavy enough. I mean, that would get old semi quick, just
Yeah,
chucking that
you
thing
just
nonstop.
be tiring. Yeah.
And then I throw my trace on a 6 3-to-1 Shimano SLX DC, which I would like to just get like a Corrado K, um, which I'm gonna have to, I guess, get another reel for my big bait because I'm gonna use this
Mhm.
reel for something else. Um, but yeah, I like the trace. I like throwing on a slower. I tend to reel a little fast, so I like trying to purposely slow myself down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess I have an easier time with reeling faster, harder time with reeling slower. So
Mhm.
if I got to, I can really crank a 6 down,
Yeah.
get that thing to like a 7. But yeah, I mean for the trace, that's what I use. I use the Shimano SLX DC, and then I do have a Corrado uh, K that I use for flipping, and that, um, like I said, that was the higher gear, the 8-to-1, I believe, wherever it says that. Yeah, 5-to-1. Um, I like that reel. That's a good reel, and it's all on 20-pound uh, Sunline Sniper, which I'm a big Sunline guy. That's the only line that it's all my fluoro is Sunline Sniper. I am gonna try the cranking, um, the specific cranking line that they have. There's a little bit
Yeah,
more stretch to it, I guess.
really. That would be
Yeah,
actually really good for cranking, I think.
yeah,
Put the pair that with like a medium moderate,
yeah.
be all set. Unless you're deep diving, you need to have a heavy or something. But yeah, I've never used Sunline. I might have to try it sometime because everybody talks about Sunline, how great it is. But
Yeah, I mean, so like all my like spinning setups, my 3 spinning setups, I have 8 pounds. It's all straight fluoro. I don't do the whole leaders or anything like that. I'm just straight fluoro or straight braid. Um,
hmm
but I mean, I don't know. I'm not one to try. Like, I hate tying knots when I'm out on the boat, and I'm not. Don't get me
oh
trying to
yeah,
tie, a double uni knot and everything, like in the wind
Yeah,
and
20 mile
like,
an hour winds like
yeah, no, I'm straight with that. No, um, I've
My-
never had a reason, I guess, to use a leader or have thought like, oh, maybe a leader would have been a good idea here. Like, that's never come to mind.
yeah, you bring up a good point where it's like so many people are like, "Oh, you need to use a leader, braid the leader," and it's like, why don't we just go back to just single type of lines? It makes me think a lot. I mean, I don't have as many setups right now, so I'll tend to use braid the leader, but I'm trying to get away from it because
I mean, I guess that,
it's just a
yeah,
pain in the butt. Like, yeah.
biggest thing for me when I'm changing something out, it's just color. I'm
hmm
not, I'm not changing a setup up completely. So I mean that is a little more helpful. But it does help as well as, like if I plan on just like trying to hone in on something for that, afternoon, like I just got one setup that's, right next to me,
hmm
and or having like a follow-up bait, which a lot of people, don't tend to do when they, you miss like a blow up on top water. Like I can lean right down and pick up, some sort of follow-up bait and, get that fish most of the time. But that is, a
Yeah,
benefit of having a bunch of setups.
I was gonna say that's the nice part about having a bunch of setups. Which I think January I'm gonna buy two more setups, possibly even more. and I'm pretty excited. I might go with Shimano reels this time. All
I would.
depends.
I
Because I
mean,
really want some I really want some DCs. I want to be that guy.
I love the sound. Yeah, the sound is such. Oh, it's so addicting.
I
That
want the
sound really is
montage of
addicting.
casting that at least in one video. Like bzz, 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 bzz.
Fun. It's fun. And then
So
I guess my drop shot.
yes, let's see the drop shot one.
It's another.
I've seen it, but
Yeah, it's another USA custom. This is the 7 foot medium moderate, I believe.
mm-hmm.
But this is my drop shot rod, and this I feel is just how this rod loads up with a drop shot. I feel like this rod was just made for drop shotting, to be honest. And I have a lot of fun with that rod, and that thing is really light. That's
Oh
like
yeah,
you're
dude, that
not even
is a
holding
feather.
anything. Yeah,
I'm,
and
I
I think my standard like drop shot baits are just like quarter ounce and I think 3/8.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But that's about it. Anything like 10 to 12 feet, like I'll be throwing the quarter ounce, and then anything under that is the 3/8.
Okay, yeah. I
But
always
yeah,
wondered about drop shot weights, like when you use a heavier one versus a lighter one. But it makes sense when you want to go deeper, use a heavier weight. When you want to go shallower, use something lighter.
yeah, you want to get down there as quickly as possible.
And
But
what
I don't.
reel are you using for that?
That's an Enigma Ipon 200, which they're not
Enigma
like.
Ipon 200.
Yeah, Enigma is not a bad company. If it's not a
Mm-hmm.
Shimano reel, I have the rest are all Enigmas. But I've been converting everything to Shimano. And then
I
my
would
oldest
assume
boy,
get
he
a
gets all
Sedona.
the he gets all the Enigma stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's good. You know, get him some like quality stuff, and he'll
Yeah, I
enjoy
mean,
fishing more.
he's got a 7 foot MFer casting rod. So I mean, he's part of the six club. I don't know many 7-year-olds who, are whipping a bait caster around.
7. Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome, dude. That's
Yeah, I mean, I
awesome.
know it's not an easy thing to do. And I didn't even
No,
teach him how to use it. He just kids
just
pay
cast
attention
it.
to everything. I brought him out one day, and I have a on my Instagram of I just kind of turned around and he was like, "Yo, Dad, check this out," and then just I was like, "Hold on, let me get my phone." I started recording, and then boom, kid just casted like it was nothing.
It
And his technique too. That's what I really noticed was
was
like he
just
was
perfect.
yeah, because he threw a spinner bait, and when he like casted it out, and he like when he cast, he didn't keep his like rod tip. He like brought it up where he should, and to like keep it, in that water column and everything. I was like, man, look at that! Like
Just a
technique.
natural.
Yeah, it was
Just
like
a
technique and
natural.
everything.
Dang. Well, what's up, Ramon? I saw your message there. Glad you could stop in.
Yeah, we're just going over like some of my setups right now. We just went over the drop shot rig, and then my next one was the my jerk bait rod.
Oh, he's got the perch on there.
Yep. This one here. Let's see if we can see.
That perch color is one of the most accurate perch colors I've ever
This
seen. Look at
one's
that.
got some. This one's got some hook rash on it.
Oh yeah, man.
What am I slamming bluegill with? I don't know. They tend to steer jerk bait a lot, or the glitch. I'm not.
Yeah, they'll like hit it with their face and you just accidentally like rip them.
You know me, Ramon. I'm a bass fisherman.
Yeah, I dabbled with the ultralight at some points in the year with some rock bass, and I used an inline spinner, like an eighth ounce inline spinner for that. But other than that, I didn't use it enough this year.
That's one of my. So that's a luck series. That's the 6'9" medium moderate. I have two of those. One's for my jerk bait setup, and then the other one I use for my top water. But that my jerk bait, I've got a Corrado MGL 70. So
Mhm.
it's a smaller spool. It's
Oh,
meant, I
okay.
guess, to throw like lighter baits, which
Finesse stuff, yeah.
yeah, which I like it for the the provokes. I mean, they're not super heavy, so it's nice. You can kind of whip that thing around.
Mhm.
And then I've got that 12-pound Sunline. But those are
12 pound.
my big setups that I mean I'm consistently using. Right
Use them
now,
all the time.
the my mag heavy is getting kind of that's been getting flip flopped between flipping and the trace, just because I am down a rod.
Yeah, you know that mag heavy's not gonna snap in half.
No, no, no. That
No.
thing, yeah, that thing, you feel pretty. I'm very confident in that specific rod. I love my mag heavy.
Yeah, because I've seen you out there with it, and you wailed on something a few times, and it wasn't, it wasn't like a reed. It was a reed or a piece of something. It was like it handled it just fine. It
Yeah,
wasn't gonna crack in half.
no, I didn't feel any sketchiness towards it.
Mhm.
I mean, I did lose faith. I had faith in the rod that I broke up until I broke it, and then I just because it was
Yeah.
because of how it broke.
Yeah, it was on a
How it
fish, which is
didn't
weird.
make any sense to me. Yeah,
No,
it
no.
was just kind
Sh
of like, all right, well, that it just kind of turned me away from that specific series.
Mhm. Which,
Yeah,
it happens. It happens.
it it does. Yeah, I mean,
So,
I've
you just get a new one. You just get a different one.
yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do. So that I can't wait until I do get that specific rod, because the
Yeah.
Mag Glide is that's a beast.
So you're getting the Maglite. What other rods would you probably wanna try and get next if you were to get some more?
I want a movement rod. I plan on
Oh,
getting
yeah.
one of those. I want a specific one for the Divine Jigging Spoon. Isn't that's the smaller one, right? Or is it the
Yes.
Flutter?
Yep. I think it's the jigging spoon.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a smaller one.
yeah. I want to. I'd like to get into a little bit of that possibly in the spring.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I like that rod lineup. The movement seems pretty nice, and a
I
Team
like it.
Six.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The full handle series rods, I think, are amazing. So you got the Team 6, the movement, and, the
Sensory.
ESP. Oh, this is sensory? Yeah. Yep. You're right.
Yeah, I
Yep.
got two
That's
of
another
those.
one.
Yeah,
I think those rods are probably the best out of all of them when it comes to sensitivity and everything. It's
So the
incredible. Besides
two
your USA customs, the USA customs are, I think they're on a whole other
Yeah, so the
level.
Mag Heavy is a split handle.
Hmm.
But the two bigger ones, the both of the 711 rods, those are both full handles. And
That's
that
awesome.
I do like a full handle. There is just something about how that sits in like your hand and how it cups like when you go to hook set and
Yeah,
everything. Yeah, it makes a
and
difference.
you can feel everything with those rods, which is impressive. I think it's because that whole handle is on your
Yeah,
arm the
yeah.
entire time. It doesn't matter. It's always there.
No, it
So,
makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm going to. I'm looking to get a new crank and rod. I think. I think I'm gonna go to the ESPs. I really like the ESPs.
I need
And
a
then,
deep cranking rod is what I need.
yeah, yep.
But I
I
don't
definitely.
That's something that I'm trying to work on is kind of getting off the bank. I started doing that later this year. Was just
Hmm.
moving off the bank and kind of because it's the first year I've had any type of graph or anything like that. Not that, I'm really trying to like it's not good enough to be looking for like structure or anything like that, but just having, depth
Yeah.
and temperature and everything like that was definitely beneficial. But I want to
So,
that's something I want to work on. What does Ramon
oh
say?
yeah, me too. He said, "What's the difference between a deep cranking rod and a cranking rod?" So I think to me, a deep cranking rod is a heavier setup. Would you agree?
Yeah, mainly because you're trying to get it down there and I guess what you're
Mm,
targeting
yeah.
as well.
Those baits, those deep cranking baits, seem to be heavier too. So if you were to
Yeah, and
use
they
like,
they they have a lot of drag with them too, like in the
yeah.
water. So I mean, it takes a
So
lot.
if you were used to use a medium moderate, is what I would use for a normal cranking everything. Besides the deep crank, so if you use a medium moderate for a deep crank, that rod is going to bend so much while you're reeling in.
And that's
And
just
it's almost
reeling.
going to be, yeah, it's almost going to be exhausting to crank that thing back to the boat.
I just don't think it has enough backbone either for you getting the bait down where it needs to be and then also
Hmm.
getting hammered by a fish.
Yeah, it's already
You're
folded
just
over.
Yeah, you're just asking for that rod to just blow up on you.
Yeah, like that thing will snap in half on a hook set. I think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just a bad idea to use a lighter cranking rod, a normal cranking rod for a deep
Yeah.
crankbait.
And I mean, I also feel that like a shallow square bill rod, I personally like a shorter rod just because you
Hmm.
can, you're more like tactful on where you're trying to put that square bill, like next to like a tree or something like that, so like you
Yeah,
want that accuracy with where like a deep diver, like you want to get as long of a cast as you can because you're trying to get, down and stay down in that depth range for as long as
for as long as
possible.
you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I think for just my normal cranking, I'll use a 610 or a 611 for just everyday cranking. I really like a 611 for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
The tip on it is just, it's got a nice bend to it. You barely have to set the hook. It kind of just does it for you.
Yeah.
So deep cranking,
No,
I have no
sounds
idea. I have no idea yet. I hear a heavy. A heavy is good.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
if the little amount of deep cranking that I have done, yeah, I've used one of my heavy rods. Like, so my swim jig rod is the 7.5 heavy sensory. series,
Mhm.
I'll use that and I'll use that specific setup for any type of deep cranking.
Yeah, I think when I imagine deep cranking, it's 7, like 7.5 heavy would come to mind. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Plus, I like the sensory lineup is a nice series.
Mhm. I gotta get one. I really do. I really
I
wanna try
yeah,
one.
I would suggest one of those. I think I have what is the one that I have specific that's like a good multi-purpose. So the 7.4 medium heavy.
7.4 medium heavy. That's another rod I need to get is a medium heavy to just
So
for
the
jigs
seven
and everything.
four medium heavy sensory rod, that's kind of like that specific rod I use for like I could put anything on realistically just
I might have
because
to.
of
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's like it's a good rod. Like I bring that rod pond hopping with me just because it gives
Mm.
me options of what I can put on it without, being too like, but
Yeah, like, "Oh,
that's
could I put a frog on this?" Yeah, probably you could.
yeah, you could get away with it, yeah.
Mhm.
And then like at the same time, you could throw, like a ball head finesse jig on it, and you
And
could
not
still work.
overpower. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and you're still like pretty good.
Even say deep cranking? Yeah, deep cranking. Yeah, it'll do it. Maybe. Yeah. That's
I
7.4.
mean, yeah, wouldn't necessarily like you're just gonna want to be cautious on that hook set. You kind of want to let the rod do the work for you
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, you don't wanna.
And I wouldn't be like muscling a fish too much. I'd be really playing that fish, giving him line and
Yeah, because depending on, where they bite that crankbait, that bill is gonna still be digging, especially if
yeah,
they hit it from the back. That bill is still, like, trying to go down and dig like that, and then the fish is also digging, so it's like
yeah, yeah.
got two things fighting against you, the bait and the fish, so
So like deep cranking, that's something that I do plan on working on uh come 2023. That was going to be another thing
yeah.
that we were going to talk about is what what techniques for, this upcoming season were you
Yeah,
thinking about
let's give
trying
it
to hone in on?
yeah, let's get into that. I don't know, you already said deep cranking, or is there any other ones that you might wanna try
Yeah.
and get into?
So my jigs, I said that I'm going to really focus in a lot on, when and where to actually throw a jig over, like just flipping a bait and everything.
Mhm.
Um, so jigs and then the glide baits. So I'm gonna bump myself up. Now that I've got the confidence with, the trace, I when I get the mag glide in, that's when the draw will get busted out for the first time this
Oh, yeah,
upcoming
man.
season.
I'm so excited to see that, you have no idea.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
someone breaks out a draw, I'm like, "Let's go."
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Like
gonna be but I mean, I know that throwing the trace that there's gonna be a learning curve to it. I'm probably gonna be going out a handful of times before I even generate that first fish to the boat.
yeah, that's the thing with those big baits, it's like, most of the time, you're probably not gonna catch anything. But when you
No, I mean,
do,
that's the thing,
yeah.
is it's for me, it's worth, going that 4 hours with no bites and then, hooking up to that 5, 6 pounder. To me, that
Mhm.
was worth, that long run of just throwing, throwing, throwing and getting that one fish. But no, I'm
Yeah.
excited for that, I think the most is throwing some bigger style baits like the draw. but having the option because I have a setup that's capable of doing so. But that's
Yeah,
gonna be a bait I'm gonna work on a lot is the draw.
are you gonna get a high speed reel for that? Because I know a lot of people talk about getting a super high speed reel for glide baits because the reel does most of the work. Or are you gonna go
Yeah,
with a slower one
I
and just
think,
do a little bit more?
I may go with a slower reel, or I may kinda
Mhm.
go into the middle and maybe I'll get, like a 7 to 1, something like that. Just because I
Mhm.
tend to work those a little faster. Um, so I mean, that may not be a bad option,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think I te like, I only have 1 high, like, real high, and that's for my flipping.
Yeah,
I feel
the
like
8 speed.
yeah, I just feel like with glides and, like, the multi-jointed swim baits, it's just that slower reel is just a better option to work the bait slow and because you
Yeah,
can
that makes
those
it
high
yeah.
gears, I mean, you can really like, you can blow a bait out really fast if you don't know what it is you're doing, and where I don't
Yeah.
know 100% with a glide bait, I just feel like I'll have a better and easier time with, like, a 6 to 1 or a 7 to 1.
Mhm. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. If you're going slower, it probably will work pretty good. Yeah. I gotta think on that a little bit more because that's one of the things I wanna try and do too. So maybe you'll do the slower reel and I'll do the high speed reel, and we're gonna go back and forth and see what's working out best for us. Because I think we're both gonna be, looking into glide baits because that's another setup I'm gonna get, is a big,
Yeah.
heavy glide
Yeah.
bait rod
That's
starting
my
in
next
January. Yeah,
yeah, that's my next setup for sure,
so
but that's exciting.
mhm.
I'm excited for you on that as
Yeah,
well,
I'm
though.
excited for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
we're gonna be doing the same thing this year, is getting in the glide baits. And I think I'm going to be doing some more flipping
Yep.
because that was fun when I started to learn on Huron. I really want to do some more of that. That bike is just so fun, frustrating to get into. I was getting pretty pissed out there, but
Yeah. It can be, for sure.
hmm
Once you get a good grasp on it and, like, start to you can see, like, you'll be coming up on an area and you just know, like, "Alright, that, like,
oh, fish,
structure
yeah,
over there or whatever, like, I am flipping a bait in that." You've gotten enough, like, knowledge just to know, like, all these places that you have been flipping, like that's a spot that, it's just like textbook. It should be holding a fish there. But a lot of the time,
hmm
stuff like that, throw the trace first. Try to generate to see if there is, a bigger fish around that, wants that bigger meal. And then a lot of the times, those same
yeah.
lay downs and everything like that, if the trace doesn't work first, I'm flipping in there, and a good portion of the time, I end up pulling a couple fish out just from flipping.
So yeah, like, they come out and maybe not eat it, and then you flip back in there with that bait, and then
Yeah,
get
and
them
then
out of
they
there.
just yeah, and then you kinda draw them out with the trace or something, those bigger baits, and then, you start
hmm
flipping in there, and then they're either just pissed off enough at that point, or they're like, "Ooh, this is something different. This is more appetizing to me," and they end up going after that.
I like that. I like that. So I gotta get a heavy setup for that, and I'll be doing more flipping the next year for sure. And then I think the next thing I really want to work on is the drop shot. I started to get into it for a little bit, and I caught like a pike and a bass on it. There was only two fish I ever caught on it last year, so I want to get more into it and see what I can do. The issue is grass. I'm having a problem with grass, so I
Yeah.
gotta figure out a weedless. I gotta start going weedless with it instead of nose hooking, and to see what I can do with that.
I wonder if there's a way that you could take some high pound fluoro or something and try to make your own little weed guard on like a drop
Yeah,
shot hook, because you do your
yeah,
whole like fly ties and stuff like that. So I'm wondering
yeah. I
if you could
could.
somehow like tie your own little like weed guard.
Why not hook in Texas rig the drop shot? Yeah, I could do that too, or I could do the tie on my little weed guard. Isn't wasn't there a video with Milliken doing that? He's coming up with a new rig or something. He tied on
Oh
a
yeah,
weed
that's
guard
that
or
the
yeah,
hover juggle, his little
yeah,
hover juggle thing. Yeah, yeah, he does do that.
yeah. Um, yeah, I'll have to figure that out. That's something I want to dive into and really get a hold of because those smaller finesse baits on kind of just literally, yeah, hovering, a foot or 18 inches off the bottom seems to get bit
So from a
pretty good.
tournament
So,
aspect, a drop shot is a must. It gets fish in the boat quickly too.
hmm I just have to figure out the locations, like the structure, the grass, whatever. I gotta figure out when it's good and where it's good.
Yeah, a lot of the times I'll drag it around like rocky areas, or if there's like a big, boulder or something like that, I'll just start tossing a drop shot around it and just dragging it. And normally, if there's, like a fish, held up on the bottom or something like that, you can kind of, they get interested enough.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess I don't have any rock really. It's just like
I
maybe
have a
I gotta
lot of
start looking.
rock.
Yeah, maybe I start looking at weed edges.
Yep, that's another
See, see, see if I got.
grass lines.
Yeah, I gotta start looking at that then, because that's all I have is grass lines and weed edges.
Yeah, so grass lines would be good if you can just start, not even like just straight hopping it, like just dragging it to you as well
Mm-hmm.
is good. Because even that, when you're dragging it, like at least the glitch, like that tail is
That
still
tail
like
is.
quivering and everything.
Oh man.
So if they're held up in that grass, I mean, they're seeing that bait just being dragged on the outside. They come out real quick and just freaking snatch right onto it.
Yeah, I'll have to do that more next year because that's something I want to get good at. Drop shot. It's just I don't. I feel like up here it's going to be a good crucial technique to learn.
My buddy who's taken me out ice fishing, Derek, he swears by the drop shot. So the end of not this past season, but the season before, the very end, he got me drop shotting. He set me up one day, and I just started catching fish, and I was like, "Damn, dude! Like I should have been drop shotting a long time ago." And it's a good technique, especially for like beginners and everything, just to build your fishing confidence up with getting fish into the boat. It's a great technique. I mean, really, the trickiest part of it is just learning how to tie, that knot specifically.
Yeah, I just use the Palomar. I don't know if that's how you do it.
I can't remember the
I'll tie the
name.
Palomar and then
Put it back
pass
through
it
the
back
hole.
through.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
do the polymer knot. I forget the name of the knot that I use, but it is very easy to tie once you know how to do it. And I mean, it
Hmm.
sits how you want it perfectly every single time. And that's
Yeah, if
what,
you remember that, you'll have to send it to me
yeah, I will.
so I could
I
try it out.
I should, you know what? That's That's a good video idea, Mike. Maybe that will be
There you
a
go.
video for this upcoming week or something. How to tie my I'll figure out the name
Yeah.
of it and I'll do a how to of my drop shot knot of choice.
See, and then you won't even have to send it to me. I'll just watch the video, and then
Yeah,
we'll be all
yeah.
set.
Yeah, there you go.
It sounds like it's one of those knots where it's like it seems hard at first, and then you just tie it a few times, like you get it. It's kind of like the FG knot, where it's
Yeah,
like, it's so complicated, and then you tie it a few times. It's like it's the easiest thing in the world.
it really is. And what I like about it is like it's one of those knots that's not a pain in the ass to do out on the water and like in the
Hmm.
wind and everything like that. Um, so that's like another added bonus to it because I know some of these knots, it's like, I mean, you got to be indoors with like a vacuum
Oh yeah.
sealed room and everything. Like, I don't know.
Otherwise, your line's like 2 miles over there. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
that's why I use the FG knot for like if I'm doing leader stuff, because like you just hold it with your teeth. Done. Like I don't. It's one of
I
those things.
tried doing it, I believe, once, and I got like halfway through it and was like, yeah, I'm all set with,
This is
yeah,
not for
I'm
me.
not doing leaders. I was like, 'cause I'm getting frustrated and I'm not even on my boat. I couldn't imagine like if I had to retie my leader out on the water. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not stopping for 20, 30 minutes just to retie. I'm
Mm,
like, hell no.
that's how I am with the double uni, and that's why I don't know. I just gotta stop using leaders as well, man. So I'm always worried about FG knots and double unis and blood knots and
Yeah,
Alberta
I
knots.
mean,
It's like,
I'm improved clinch knot on everything but
hmm
my drop shot. I mean, even when I'm throwing these bigger baits, and I know that's probably going to make some people cringe, but I have not had a reason to not use that knot.
see, yeah, that scares me because I've had so many times where the improved clinch knot has failed me, which it's good for you because it hasn't failed you, right? But for I think if it fails you a few times, you're like,
I mean,
just
I think when people ask, like, oh, what's the best knot to tie? I feel it's the knot that you're most comfortable and confident in. That's the
mm-hmm.
best knot to tie.
Yep.
Just because something works good for me does not mean that it's going to work, perfect for you. That's
Oh yeah,
just that's not
exactly,
the
man.
case.
I started using the what is that knot? That Milliken always uses. Shit.
I so
Oh,
Ramon, I was going to bring that up. It sounded like to me that maybe Mike just might not be tying an improved clinch knot correctly. Because
I might. Yeah.
the thing with using fluoro too is if you don't tie the knot right, a lot of the times that knot, the fluoro can end up cutting into itself. So when you do
Mm-hmm.
go to hook set, if your clinch knot isn't correct and it's wrapped the wrong way, all you did when you like set the hook is you broke the line because of how you
Yeah, not
tied
the
it.
fit. Yeah. See,
Yeah,
I think I'm probably tying it wrong,
because I've
and that just
tied an improved clinch knot to where when I went to tighten it down on the hook, it broke. And I was like, I tied that incorrectly. I
yeah.
was
I
like,
think I'm
thank God
doing
it
that.
broke then.
I think I'm doing that. I'm breaking it halfway already while I'm tying it, and then I set into a fish and it's just gone. It's like okay, well I don't like that
Matters
knot
if
anymore.
you're wrapping the line under the knot opposed to over the knot when you are cinching it down. Like I believe I always go under and not over.
Oh, see, I do over. That's probably the problem.
And I think that's what you're doing is you're using the fluoro against itself. So try
Yep.
it the other way and see
Shoot.
if that's any different.
Shoot. Yeah.
Because I just that's a knot that never had problems with. But
Mhm.
I do know that's one of those knots that if you tie incorrectly on one of those loops, that it digs into itself, and it's just like, that's it. Soon as any pressure gets put on
Yeah.
there, it comes off. And I have tied it incorrectly too, where
Well,
I've launched a hybrid jig, just freaking flat out across the land. And then you go to reel it
my
in, and then
buddy's
you're
done
looking
that
at
a
your
few
line,
times.
and it's just that like curly
Like, where'd it
cued,
go?
like spiral look, and
Yeah,
you're
that's when
like,
you know.
oh, that was a failed knot. Yeah, that was totally me.
Yeah, that's when you know. Every time it's failed on me, that it's been a curled little bit. It's like, yeah, I just didn't tie it right. But I started using the San Diego Jam knot,
Yeah,
and I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
I think I have personal reasons as to why I will not use that knot.
Yeah, I know. I know. I use it because I use it because Milliken taught me. So
Yeah, I wish I
yeah,
would have saw it there first.
yeah. That's I think that's where I wouldn't say it originally came from. I'd say that's where I originally learned it. So what do we got? Mike likes to tie his knots with all his hands,
Yeah.
feet, teeth with Sandy. No, dude, that's
Uh,
the FG knot. That's when you like get the toes in there and everything. Yeah, yeah.
I just need to be able to tie the knot when my hands are freezing cold because it gets cold here in New
Mhm.
Hampshire and
Yep.
in the wind. And
That's why you use a Palomar knot for everything.
see, I struggle with the Palomar knot because I end up tying it wrong and then the line breaks itself because that's another one. If you don't
What?
loop it correctly,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
final, if you don't have that loop sitting on the bottom, it goes over the top and you pull, it's the same thing. It's working against itself, and you hook into a decent fish, and it's going to cut itself. And I've had that happen more times than a polymer knot for me. That's where I was like, I'm tying it wrong. I'm done with that knot.
So we're the exact opposite. I can't
Yeah,
tie an approved French knot. You can't tie a Palomar knot.
yeah. And I know every time I go to tie it too, I'm like, I know what I do wrong, and I just can never correct it. And that's where
You
it
know.
always I'm like, oh, I even know what I'm doing wrong, and I still can't get it right. Like, it's just not the knot for
It's
me.
not working. You know who can't tie a knot at all is Alex. Swamp rat fishing. He can't tie a knot. He just launches jigs into the air all the time.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know. Yeah, you've seen one of his videos where he just launches jigs in the air. It's great. He's gonna get after me for that one later.
Yeah, he's another person I'm excited to, we've been talking on Instagram because I didn't realize that, he was just in Jersey, so I was like, "Dude, we're not that far from each other." And then I told him where I was. He's like, "Yeah, that's not far at all." He's like,
Mm-mm.
"It'd be wrong if we didn't make a plan to meet up." Not to mention the places that we could, like, meet in the middle to each other. I mean, New York has a ton of
Oh,
fishing in,
dude. Yeah. Oh man.
which that reminds me, I'm gonna text you after, about Champlain. Because I got some
Yes.
updates on, like, a time frame and everything for that.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Yep. We'll get that in the works. I'm excited.
Yeah, and then we can go chase some good smallies there.
I can't wait, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy some provokes and just some provokes, I guess.
Yeah. I wanna get into more of the, what is it? The hyper jerk. I wanna throw that more this year.
I tossed that around a little bit. Oh no, once. Once I throw that around. It's weird, dude. It's like super heavy.
Well, it's
I
because
don't.
you have like you can't stop working it. I feel like it's one of
No, you
those
can't.
weights you have to just continuously. And I'm so
Yep.
ADD like that I feel like it's a good bait.
Oh, see you later, Ramon.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
Ramon,
get the.
you're good with stuff like that. He
Yeah.
just spat me a bunch of knowledge the other day on
Yeah.
my St. Clair video. I asked him to go take a look and give me some feedback.
Yeah. If you want anybody to ever tell you what's up, how to fix your videos, that's the guy. That is
Yeah,
the
he knows
guy.
his stuff for sure.
Ramon Outdoors. Shout out, Ramon Outdoors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for Champlain, man.
Yeah, and
It'd be
then
freaking sweet.
we gotta figure out St. Clair trip number 2.
Number
I have a
two.
feeling that's gonna end up being like a yearly thing for us that we'll
Oh yeah.
have to schedule.
Yep. Just hopefully we actually have somewhere to live instead of a Cabela's parking lot.
That made it so much fun though.
I
That was
know that
so
was
great.
cool. It was
I
cool.
feel like, going back would be even better. It'd
Yeah.
be like going home
To
almost.
be like, hey, you guys were here last year, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
We yeah. Annual trip. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That was cool. That was a lot of fun. But I mean, and then with doing that, with driving, that far, it just really opens your eyes to,
Mm-hmm.
where else, like what's next. Because
Yeah, where else can you
I know
drive 13
Florida,
hours?
I know Florida is another place we got to go. 'Cause we got to
Yeah, we gotta
got
go
to go
fish
fish
with
with the boys.
we gotta go fish for the rest of the boys.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Then the whole crew, the whole 6 boy crews together.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah, man. But what else do we have to talk about here at the end?
I don't know. I think that was it for me. Besides I guess we already talked about the potential us doing all 4 of us. That's in the
Oh
works.
yeah. Yep, that's in the
Doing
works.
the weekly, because this is something that we would like to do more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Have topics and everything to talk about, and
Yeah, I think we did pretty good in
yeah, I
this
mean
one.
we
Yeah.
tend to we like to bullshit about just random stuff, but
I think
that's
we
that's
covered.
good too.
I think we covered what we wanted to and got the bullshit in between that we wanted to, and yeah, we just got to get the rest of the boys on. We're working on that, and I think I'll have that up and running early this week, so we can hop on sometime next week, all of us, or at least 3 of us, depending on everyone's schedules. And yeah, maybe it's a weekend thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure we can throw out like a poll or something when
Hmm.
time and what day of the week people would be
Yeah,
more apt to tune in and everything. And
that's a
also
good idea.
suggestions and stuff on what they'd want us to be talking about, and then we also have the option with that platform, having like bringing guests on and stuff, which would
Yeah,
be cool.
because we'll be able to have 6 people, and
Yeah.
it'll be or more or 8. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I gotta look more into it. But all 4 of us be rating a guest or two. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it'll
So
be a good time. But no, I
yeah,
appreciate the invite today. I know it was quick and everything, but you know me, I'm all about that.
yeah, man. I think it went well. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. we'll see you guys. Everybody who watched this, who watches it afterwards, we'll see you guys on the next live. We're gonna try
Yeah,
to
and
do this
everybody
weekly.
who jumped in live while we were doing it, that much appreciated.
That's probably the best part is when people talk back. So either way, we're gonna do this, even if nobody is on, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, let's plan next week. I'll send you a message later. See
Yeah,
what happens.
and we will let you
Um,
all know when that's gonna happen.
oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe to his channel. He
Yeah,
makes some great
subscribe
content.
subscribe to Mike too.
Only if you
He's the
want
man. Yeah.
to.
All right, man.
Alrighty here.
Peace out, everybody.
See you later.